So it's about 710 days, 714. This is my third entry, probably my last for the day. I have a procedure in the morning that I believe they'll be knocking me out. It's just a simple procedure, but it's enough to put me under. Um, Kind of looking forward to that because when they did that with the bone marrow, I got some pretty good rest in that, like 10, 15 minutes. So um, I'm actually really looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to after midnight not being able to have drinking water, but the last couple ones that I've done, I've been able to manage with just the swabbers. Um, so I have a food stash. I'm going to show you this. So this is my little food stash. The doctors have allowed me double portions of whatever I want, as far as the cafeteria is concerned. Of course, gluten free. I have to watch out for some of the milk products, but so when I order stuff, I'm like getting gobs of food. Sometimes I can eat it, sometimes I can't. Today was a good night, and I stuffed myself silly. I am not sure I'm going to be able to eat a bowl of cereal before midnight, which was planned with the bananas and the Cheerios. So, but it's kind of neat that I can have as much food as I want because, the whole starving myself thing is not cool. So, um, all right. So the zipper. I wanted to tell you about the zipper. When I was born, I had a very unique birthmark. Um, it was a line from my sternum area down straight to my pubic bone. Straight line divides my body in half, left and right. And it's just a slight pigmentation difference. My the birthmark is just slightly lighter than the rest of my skin tone, and hopefully this stays in the direction that it should be. Um, and so uh, it's just a weird birthmark, right? Like the and both most birthmarks are obvious birthmarks, are just a blob of some sort, no real like definition, no real characteristics. This is a freaking straight line dividing my body in half. So it's always been kind of strange. And it was very prominent when I was first born. Um, Now, not so much. It takes a little bit actually looking for. I can still find it, and it's only a little bit of my body now, where his I guess faded isn't the right term, but is matched in color to the rest of my skin tone, with exception of right near my sternum area. Um, Water. I need water. Um, I gotta hold my phone in my hands today, and my forearms hurting from holding my phone yesterday, like this. Um, didn't realize that I don't do that frequently enough, and I was doing it a lot yesterday, and I was paying for it this morning and today, and I'll probably be paying for it again tomorrow. Anyway, back to the zipper. So my family, or my mom and my dad, used to tell me that that was my zipper, where God zipped me up and finished me off. He put all my insides in, and that's where he zipped me up. And it was a cute little story that they told me. Of course, there's no indication of any reason why I had the birthmark or anything like that. But because the little story that they told me, as I got older, I thought how interesting it would be, when I got old enough to actually analyze a birthmark and notice that it's still there 40 years later. Um, that how interesting it would be if part of what the little story was actually true. That maybe Jehovah had actually like fixed an organ or something that was wrong, and that we would find out about it later in my life during procedures and whatnot for finding out things that might be wrong with me. So for the last 20 years, that's just been like little thought in the back of my head. And now, come on in. Oh, I thought somebody was knocking at the door. The food lady is bringing me some soy milk back. Um, anyway, so I've wondered, if there might be any little bit of truth. Not really wondered, obviously. It was just like a little thing in the back of my head. But now, especially because, as I mentioned earlier, I have a close family member who also has an enlarged liver, who does not have a drinking history. If maybe there might actually be a little bit of truth to that. And so I wanted to get that out there just in case it does happen. I mean, the odds of something like that happening are pretty astronomical. But I thought it would be interesting to share. And I knew if I didn't share it with you guys, and I went and said, well, I used to think this, and that people would be like, yeah. So here's me documenting about my zipper. Just in the weird happenstance that something like that actually happens in the near future with all these procedures I'm getting and testing and figuring out what's wrong with me and all of that. So yeah, there's my zipper story. Weird enough, so I've been meaning to tell you guys about my zipper story for at least yesterday, maybe the day before. I was watching a commercial, and it was over anxiety. And this lady has a zipper on the front of her chest. I'm like, that's just weird. And I hadn't noticed a commercial before, but I'd seen glimpses of it, but never really zeroed in on what was going on. And so now that there's this commercial where this lady actually has a real zipper on the front of her chest. And it was an ad for was it? No, it wasn't medication. It was like seeking help over anxiety and whatnot. So I just thought that was even stranger. My throat hurts. I've done a lot of talking today just because I'm feeling better, and I am paying for it with my throat, because my throat is like, you are not ready to talk. So even with chloroseptic spray, I'm just like, oh my gosh. But tomorrow's another day. We'll start. From what I understand, that they say the results from tomorrow's procedure will take about 48 hours to get back. So it'll be a couple of days before we know anything from this biopsy that they're doing. They're doing a biopsy of my upper GI tract. I think they're also at the same time checking, see if there is maybe still damage from gluten, or maybe, no, they were going to do blood work for that. Yeah, see, there's so much happening, I don't even know. I have seen the blood draw people at least twice today. So far, every day that I've been in the hospital, I've seen them at least twice. I know of. 3 times is, I think, usually the common. And I think there was one day I even had like come in 5 times drawing different vials for different stuff. And it's just like, oh my gosh, my body is going through all of this stuff to figure out what's wrong with me. And I'm like in the middle of it going, oh my goodness, how much can my body actually take, of trying to figure out what's wrong with my body. I am happy to be feeling better as far as the cold is concerned, because that makes things a lot easier, for outlook, especially. And that cold at its worst, I was just like, I am just downright miserable. So, hello, whoever signed in or logged on. I generally just don't expect people to catch this until later. So, hi, nice to actually have a watcher. Anyway, so it'll probably be tomorrow afternoon sometime before I actually get on here again, because of the procedure and being knocked out. And having to get the okay to be able to drink water, which of course I need in order to talk. So, um, anyways, I hope everybody has had a wonderful day and talk to you later. Bye.